Peace and Black Power family. Welcome to another episode of One-on-One Real Talk Session with the Not I, but We Dream Team, broadcasting live every week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on New Knowledge Radio. We got the man, the myth, the legend, the National Economic Advisor of the Not I, but We Dream Team, New Order National Human Rights Organization. Got my brother, a New Order warrior, Noke in the building. Welcome to the show, brother. How you been? What's going on with you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. How you been doing, man? I've been great, man. Just trying to stay uplifted.
I've been out here working on my tan. You know what I'm saying? That tan is good, boy.
Yeah, man.
Oh man. So how you been faring? I don't know if I talked to you since all of this kind of jumped off. I think we was in the mix of it a little bit, but with everything that had kicked off, I think last time you was on, you and the young brother Sam was on together. So kind of give me like an update. What's been going on with you as far as your landscape and your take on everything that's been happening, whether it was pandemic, whether it was civil unrest as they like to call it, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, well, I've been experiencing some personal, calamities, with the loss of some family members, not to the COVID-19, but due to, violence, the gun violence in the city of Chicago and it's around the suburbs. And, I just been, just trying to put my thoughts and views into perspective and try to reach some of the young brothers out there, man, that's being affected, and some of the sisters who being affected by the ongoings because some of their mothers, and it's mothers too. They get feeling the hardship, man, of losing their sons, in this street melee. I don't know what they fighting about. I don't know what the conflict's about, but it's a whole lot of people's losing their life, man, to gun violence, and it ain't just at the hand of the police no more. It's at the hand of the police, but it's at the hands of some of our young brothers, these so-called lost spirits, lost souls. I'm hoping that they wise up and start looking into their future and start realizing being a serial killer ain't gonna never be the solution to whatever problem they think they have. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, so we add to that because we seen it's propagated through music. I know you deal with music as well. You deal with the art of the spoken word. So we do got another edition, another new order warrior up in here. You know what I'm saying? Uh, our brother Red Fidel is in the building. The national what is
The,
it? The
the
national
ambassador.
ambassador. That's it. That's the name for him because that's who he is. You understand what I'm saying? He is the ambassador. You know, I seen New Order, and we're gonna talk about that when he get on. I seen New Order out there, all in the same T-shirt. You know what I'm saying? All in the video. You seen that? They was all in the video. I had called a New
Yes.
Order Nation, like Rhythm Nation, and that would make him Red Fidel Jackson. So let me bring in Red Fidel Jackson. You understand what I'm saying? I had the family all together, one body.
Yeah. Yes,
There
sir.
you go.
Yeah,
What it
greetings,
do?
brother.
What's
Hey, how
up?
you doing, man?
I'm good, fam. How you doing?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Oh man, that's blessed. That's blessed. Allahu Akbar. That's what's up, man. Definitely. How you doing, Knowledge?
Hey man, I'm I'm still taken aback by that New Order Rhythm Nation y'all had going on in the video. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? So
let my people go, man. Let my people go.
let
We've
my
been
people
we've
go.
been in
Right.
spiritual we've been in spiritual and mental bondage too long.
Yeah.
That's real.
I'm
Yeah.
just blessed
That's
that
real.
my new order family came out of support. I thought I think the video is a success. It's getting nice reviews. Everybody who's seen it, from my industry cohorts to my just all my people that just don't even do music, who just love rap and love positive messages. They've been giving me great feedback, man. And they love the fact that my New Order family is involved, because it just kind of brings it all together, man. And I'm just thankful at this point, man, and blessed, man, to have such a great family behind it, but at the same time be able to make good, impactful, positive music such as that one, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping we're gonna get a chance to view the joint. You know, you can share it with us, and you know, we could partake. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what's
I
up.
I only seen some of the behind the scenes, but kind of paint us the vision. Like you gave us an overview, kind of paint that vision. You know what it was like. Like I heard some thoughts from some people. So what was it like for you? You know, as the visionary, kind of putting everything together, and how integral was the part of your, you know, of your comrades to be there for you. You know what I'm saying? What was that whole experience like?
Well, the vision, first of all, I would say putting it together, man, was relatively easy, because when, you know, a lot of times when you putting videos together, you kind of going by the concept of the song or whatnot. So it was kind of self-explanatory. The biggest challenge for me was when you're doing collaborations, making sure that your other cohorts or other, you know, collaborators are on point as far as being able to be present for the video or whatnot. So I had to make sure my homegirl Sister Whirlwind was, you know, in place, as well as, you know, my young capo Ashton Sinclair. And I would manage to get everybody on point. So the concept was really easy to put together. And I tell you, man, knowledge, as soon as I thought of it, I was like, I got to put my family, my New Order family in there, because it just was so appropriate as far as the message, as far as what we stand for, as far as what it represents. So it was really, man, it was really a piece of cake, man. It was a matter of just calling up the General Gerald, telling them what I needed, telling them, you know, my concept. And once he gave me the green light and the thumbs up, it was on and popping from there.
Yeah, I really enjoyed being a part of it. It gave me a chance to have a hands-on view on what you do, you know, and I really appreciate being there. And I'm glad I was able to support, you know. And at any point in period of time, you know, if I can assist you, I'm gonna be there, brother. You already
Thank
know
you,
that.
man. I really appreciate that. And I thank you for being there, Noke, because I understand your schedule is a little hectic. And when I saw you there, man, because I didn't know you was going to be there, be honest with you. So when I saw you there, it was just like a personal inner joy, just to, you know, have somebody, just one of my soldiers next to me, man, because, we rarely get a chance to really see each other due to our schedule. So I'm glad you were able to show up, and not only show up, but show out with me, my brother.
Oh, no doubt. Hey, and also, man, you know, I understand your calling and your mission. So, you know, I really want to support it, because I want people to hear what you got to say, man. Because your lyrics speak volumes, and you know it's really needed in this time and age, because a lot of things are steering people's, man, in the wrong direction, and only a strong, powerful voice is gonna lead them in the right direction. You know.
That's very true. That's very true. And to be fair, there are a lot of powerful voices, but I'm just glad that I'm in that number as well, man. Like yourself, when I read your poetry, when it's posted, man, it's like you doing the same thing I'm doing. It's just no instrumentation behind you. So, like we're all like positive griots and positive speakers in our own right, man. But I'm very grateful and humble by just by just you saying that, man. That means a lot, bro. I'm really trying to just do my part, man. Pour my lyrical libations in the bowl of this, in this whole fight. You know what I'm saying? This whole fight for freedom, liberation, justice, and equality on so many levels. Free the land at the end of the day.
Yeah. You know, like I tell so many people, man, my move down here was to find this level of thinking among people, so that we can collaborate, so our thoughts can sink into not just each other, but into other people's around us, because it's gonna take a multitude of peoples, man, who come with new ideals and new experiences, that people don't believe that exists out here in this world, because
That's
they
right.
hear so much negativity. They don't
That's right.
believe that positivity exists.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know.
That's true. Because I
Yeah.
mean, it's like believing a lie, or supporting or perpetrating a lie so long to where you start to believe it yourself. And I believe that same kind of concept goes into the amount of negativity that's being promulgated and just pump to the point where we think the negativity is the reality or the real, and then the real is actually projected or taken as falsehood. So it's interesting, man. It's a real mind screw. It's a real mind screw at the end of the day. But I'm gonna do my part and keep doing what I need to do as far as promoting some positivity or whatnot. Excuse my little pup. I'm outside, man. And, just chilling, and my little pup making noise.
Yeah.
I was in the car. I was driving. I was picking up food for the fam. Oh, I was multitasking over here. Okay.
Hey, man, I know, man.
Catch me fumbling out here. You understand? You gotta
hey, man.
make it happen. Like this new feature where you could do this from your phone it's a blessing.
Exactly,
It's
man.
got some kinks.
Exactly, man. It's interesting. We got our everyday lives, and it's like we Clark Kent and Superman. Clark Kent is our everyday life, and then we come on that line as Superman doing our thing, showing our cape. So it's interesting.
Hey, but it's wonderful, man, that we able to use these venues to connect, and also to share our thoughts and our views to other people. Only thing we got to do is just, man, get the numbers of peoples, man, because that's what it's gonna take. More and more of us, to share like thoughts and like opinions.
That's right.
And then we're gonna.
And that's a matter of consistency. That's a matter of just continuously doing what we're doing. Same way like Knowledge is doing this platform. He's so consistent on it that the numbers are growing, the popularity is growing, the word of the exposure itself is growing, because it's just about consistency and being out here. I see how New Order is making an impact and how our consistency is it's really not even probably, but really playing a part. Because even if you see today, you see we now got a Baltimore representative. So we're like, our tentacles are really spreading throughout, man, to the point where we're going to pretty much, the way I foresee it, we're going to have chapters and divisions set up in each and every state in this United Snakes of America that's going to be representing New Order on a whole nother level. So, I foresee that to happen. It's imminent. If we keep doing what we're doing and being a voice, that's the key, being a voice for the voiceless. And I really got to give my brother Gerald props again on that, because he's always on the front line. He's always there. He's always, when no one else is there, Gerald is always there. He's representing New Order, putting us in a place, putting us in a building, and people taking heed to that. People starting to really see that. And I get people asking me, man, what y'all about? What's up with that organization? And it just feels good to be able to actually explicate that to them and show them and tell them what we're about, and let people know that there is an organization out here that's speaking for you and that's really standing for something and not falling for anything. You know what I'm saying? And we got soldiers such as yourself and Knowledge, and can't forget about them sisters. We got some sisters in the organization. They so on point. Good God Almighty. You know what I'm saying? So, I think we just got to keep doing what we're doing, brother.
Okay. Got the Warriors and the Warlords. We got the Warlords on right now. We got them New Order Warriors. They ain't playing no game. So it's good to be able to see your organization grow organically and by example.
I agree.
So
I agree.
Good to see it by example. And this is how our organization grew organically initially, as long as you keep out for the woes, and I don't see anybody in the ranks that got the woes. They start looking and thinking, and that kind of enmity seed in the heart. That's like the destruction of the organization from the inside out. When you start to covet, you know what I'm saying? Like you're like, oh, who this person think they is, and that, we've seen too much of that. So I think that's a blessing at the same time.
That's right. And to me, it kind of like it exposes people's true motives. How you come in something is how you really exit something. And I think, it's like somebody, a lot of times you see people get money and then they change. Well, it ain't really the money that changed them. That was their inner core within. That was their inner core regardless. The money just magnified what was already dormant or laying late in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to check your intentions and check your heart, as whereas when you enter into any contract or agreement with anything. And this is an agreement for freedom and for justice and liberation that we entered in by saying that we want to be a part of New Order. And that, I don't take that lightly, and Noke don't take that lightly, and nobody that's part of the organization takes that lightly. So it's a matter of putting the work in and to see changes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm for real about this, and I know everybody else that's
and the relationships that are built. There's a bunch of relationships that are built that we just see active. and we don't really give a lot of credence to. So this is cross-cultural, you know, cross-cultural organization that exists, for those who have been, victims of human rights violations. So that's across the globe. But there's
Exactly.
augments
Yep.
also that are in place that we need to look at and really kind of recognize, you know, uh, Brother Gerald said wherever he goes, somebody from the Nation of Islam always secures him. You see what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So they don't have to be New Order members. These are augments.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you know, the brothers and sisters from the nation always been strong representation of our people as a whole, and they try to always be as assist in all the struggles. It's just a lot of people, man, because of they affiliation with other groups, they try to distance themselves from them brothers and sisters, but all the time they just doing the harm to themselves, you know. Because in the end, guess what? They always come back to the nation
Always.
when them people throw them up under the bus.
Always.
Yeah,
I'm glad you said that. No, they always.
yeah,
And the way it's positioning itself, there's two nations, two organizations you're gonna have to come to, either the NOI or the NO, the National New Order National Human Rights Organization. The
yeah,
two nations.
Right,
yeah,
right, right.
The
yeah,
So those
NONHO.
connections, this is how you have that, right? This is how you have those connections and establish those relationships. So I think that the family need to kind of take some notes from that. You can't say you're a nation and you don't have a people that promote your national interest.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So your national interest seeds your global footprint, and how you can go and grow. So that's what I was saying about those lessons from the past that we learned from these organizations. While it's small, you keep the soldier ranks tight so interlopers can't infiltrate.
Right.
Because when the
Right.
numbers grow vast, you don't have the kind of care that you had when you were small. It's kind of like my forte about organizational development, organizational leadership. Among our people. So that's just something to keep the ranks in. I saw it in a lot of ranks and a lot of organizations around a lot of people. And it was a good few people that kept these entire organizations going and growing. So these some of the things I don't see with New Order. The aggrandizing type of situation that's there. I see a well-oiled machine that works, seamlessly.
right.
Again, man. Again, knowledge. That's the team, man. That's the team, and you got to give these. We got to get the all those involved, from Drummond to Noke to Shauna to Shaneria, to all of them, man. So many people doing their part, man, and it's just amazing, man. Be honest with you, it's great, man.
Right.
Awesome situation.
And I think it's something else to be noted too, Red. When anytime that you ain't commercialized or politicized, these things always have a groundbreaking effect because ain't no motive, ain't no hidden agenda. So New Order have always been an open book, and ain't into the exploitation of no one, and that's really what it all boils down to. Because in
Gotcha.
most cases you see that, and before you know it, all these so-called marginalized organizations, man, it always be the exploitation of the members. And
Yeah.
then when you have that type of stuff, man, then you already know what happened.
Yeah.
The backstabbing and all
Yeah.
the blood starts
Yeah.
sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of brings the demise of the whole organization. So even what they stood for, everything is marred and tainted just by, what you just spoke of, man. And I don't see that with us. I don't see that with us.
Yeah.
Hey, so let me ask you, what is you all's take on the situation that just happened in Missouri and Kenosha with the young man being shot, at least 7 times in the back by the police? Where we at with that mentally? What's your take on that?
You gonna go first, Knowledge?
Well, this is Black August, and we understand the kind of momentum that comes along with such a warrior type of month, and we can see a couple of things. If the story that's reported is correct, it's against the law and punishable by death for you to intervene in the sustaining of black life in America. Eric Garner had a very similar situation. He broke up a fight and he died for it. This brother out here broke up a fight between two sisters, and um, we see his situation. In the intervening and the promotion of black life is something that you can die for. We just came off of Huey Newton's transition a couple of days ago, and he was killed in an alleyway. You know, if you look at the history of the first move of the Black Panther Party for self-defense, it was for Denzel Dow being shot in the alleyway, shot in the back at that, with his hands up. So, we know that people are very keen on a lot of things that are happening, and our enemies work, you know, uh, in silence and secrecy, but also in ritual. So we can't be asleep at the wheel and not be the growing connection together as to what's happening, and be ever more steadfast and dutiful of our duty and responsibility to our people primarily, and then to those that we can affect. So I think that that kind of situation, as with many of these things that confront us, we need to remain steadfast and true to our duty and responsibility, because this can become very disheartening, and also, plague the mind in a way to where you start to look at this stuff and say, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Is it worth it? Or is any change going to come about? So, organizations like New Water are proof positive that change is evident, you know, but change is something that you have to be very, very watchful of and very consistent. So I just leave it right there and I pass
Gotcha.
it to Note.
Gotcha. I got you.
All
That
right.
makes sense. I feel you.
Well,
I feel you on that, bro.
hey,
Great point. Great point.
what we gotta understand is that this here is the general ideal and the take of the police, them concocting the narrative. First of all, we got to understand one thing is that anytime you stand up against this power, they'll kill you. I don't care if you run from them, they'll shoot you in the back, they'll kill you. This always been how the police been operating throughout our history. And it's no secret that you cannot stand up against the police without being victimized. You can't run from them. You can't talk back to them, and or they'll kill you. The police always had this privilege to do this to you, and it's always been the promotion of fear. So they want us to be afraid of the police. And if you ain't afraid of the police, if you a man and you stand on your manhood and you stand up to the police, you a threat.
That's right.
That's the threat.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta have no gun. You ain't gotta be, when they ask you how the police say he's scared, this is how he's scared. Because he got the gun and you should be afraid of him.
Right.
But he afraid of you because of your manhood. You standing up for your manhood, your liberation, your freedom, your rights. They feel like you ain't got no rights they should respect. You ain't got no manhood they should honor. This is just the truth. But they sit up there and they act like we don't understand it as black men. But we know exactly who we dealing with and what we dealing with when we dealing with them. But they try to create a narrative that you dealing with a drug addict, you dealing with a monster, you dealing with somebody that's belligerent. You know, it ain't like you other than anything but a human being, somebody who telling you Look, you just can't pull your gun on me and make me afraid of you. You just can't use your authority and make me afraid of you. But they want us to be afraid. They want us to be scared of the police. And if you are not scared of the police, you're a threat.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, man. I agree with you on that. And in that case, man, it was just so heartbreaking to see. Because, like, dude was non-threatening. Dude had no weapon. Dude was just really walking. They could have, I mean, the most they could have done was tase them. And even then, they didn't, to me, have no grounds. I mean, like, you could have arrested dude. They trained in how to, just apprehend a suspect. You mean you follow him to the car, as soon as he opened the door, you shoot the man. Like, that was just so blatant, man. Not saying other cases haven't been just as blatant, but I'm just at a point, like, when is enough, man? Like, that's the biggest question. Are we tired yet? Aren't we tired of that? Aren't we tired of seeing those stories? Aren't we tired of still waiting on the justice to try to come, a blind justice to serve us? It's not
as long as white America feel like the police is a hero and the police deserve this so-called respect and he can do and treat people any kind of way, and they don't see no wrong in what the police doing, and they don't hold him accountable, then of course black folks is constantly gonna be mistreated by the police, which ain't nothing but we all know the history of the police officers,
for sure,
where they came into existence.
For
so
sure.
That's what they use them for, because the police don't treat white folks like this.
Not at all. Not at all.
And that's the reason why they comfortable with it. If they were doing this to white kids and white people, they wouldn't be comfortable with it, but they ain't doing it to them. And people's more sympathetic to their own kind and these white men. So their sympathy is with him. It's with them. Look, they'll have a GoFundMe page soon.
Even if they were doing it, no, we would never see it. That's the part. So when I said if the story is true that they're correct, yeah, they'll never tell us, what's going on. You see what I'm saying? They'll never tell us, what's happening amongst their own people. That's not their job. They'll spin it. They spin doctors. You see what I'm saying? They'll like they killed Boston Jean in his house, and then went after his character. It used to be before, we all came up around the same time. It used to be before that they would paint you as a criminal beforehand, and then the actions was justified. Now, if you look at it now, this is the cleanup. This is the cleanup. So they do the deed, and then they come back with the cleanup now. You see what I'm saying? So it works both ways. The pendulum swings. You already criminalized in the TV, on the silver screen, in the music. So now it just plays out in reality. You understand? Even if they did, and I said in regards to preserving black life, in that case, he was seeking to preserve his own life.
Right.
That's still illegal in America. You see what I'm saying? Ahmaud Arbery was seeking to preserve his own life, and that's punishable by death. You see what I'm saying? Breonna Taylor was laying in her bed, and her man sought to preserve her own life.
Anybody that run from the police, anybody that run from the police is trying to preserve their life, because in the end, your life gonna be affected whether you get shot or captured. You going back to slavery.
Say that again, brother.
Corn Gaines. You know what I'm saying? You look at the same situation with Corn Gaines and her family. Trayvon Martin and his family. Eric Garner and his family. So these are ripple effects that come back around. And we ain't got to talk about George Jackson and Johnson Jackson. You see what I'm saying? So, these are the reasons why these things kind of spill over into that. You see what I'm saying? Because we do have a history of insurrection. We do have a history of self-defense and resistance in this country also. I think that that's not being, properly disseminated in the way that it should be, so you would know how to appropriately respond. So
with that, do you think that we as a community, as a people, but definitely as a community, need to really focus and beef up on our self-defense start really defending our own communities? Do you think that's that's something that needs to take place in order to curb some of the senseless killings by police officers?
Yes, in a multitude of manners, and harm suffering,
Hey.
and also trauma reconciliation. And trauma reconciliation.
Show ass down.
So we got to look at reconciliation from trauma generationally. We have epigenetic trauma that comes from chattel slavery all the way through, but also a mind frame of a desensitized mind when it comes to Black life extermination. So whether we're talking about the clinics or we're talking about the streets, it's the same deal that's going down on the same street. So we have to, attack that from a spiritual perspective as well. A collective in regards to mental health and wellness, and spiritual health and wellness, and health and fitness too. So all those issues in regards to a holistic approach to stuff. So we got to be prepared to do what's necessary when the threat arises. But we have to be educated in regards to that threat, because we're dealing with post-traumatic stress, we're dealing with post-traumatic slave disorder, a multitude of issues that have to be approached with veracity in the same kind of fashion.
Yeah. Well, the whole truth of the matter is, until they be able to put human life or Black life on the same level as all lives. That's the reason why when you hear Black Lives Matter, this is the very reason why these brothers and sisters is chanting it. It's because they don't make Black life equal to human life. It's an unequal balance. So
Great point.
Police is getting all the sympathy. They gonna have a GoFundMe page if he get charged, and they gonna give him a legal defense. And 9 times out of 10, if you give him a white jury or his so-called peers, he ain't even gonna be found guilty.
Not at all.
Sent home as a hero.
Not at all.
And it's still played out the same kind of way. And the whole thing is about our people. Our people gotta unite not as a monolithic group, because that may not never happen. But I'm just saying we gotta be like-minded. We gotta start being able to tell each other the truth about what's going on.
Great point.
The only reason why these things happen is just like this platform giving us the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to say, man, this is the truth. And we all know the truth. The police do not respect Black life. I don't care if you man, woman, or child. They do not respect Black life. And until they respect Black life and stop looking at us as 2/3 of a human being and start looking at us as human beings, then they're going to give us the respect that we deserve as human beings and stop pulling their guns out on us when they pull us over.
So so that makes me pose that. I pose this question in the interim. Then, what do we think, or what do you think will make these overseers respect Black life?
Well, the only thing that we can do is try to effectuate a change with the laws. But in reality, you and I both know the only way we're gonna be able to do is really declare a war, a spiritual war, a psychological war. And it may even come down to a physical war, but we got to be able to fight them. We can't just sit back and keep accepting it. We can't give in. We can't just allow it to happen, because you got Black police on the police force going along with the same behavior.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And they know what's going on. But you got some that may speak up against it. I don't know, but they minimize. I don't know where they exist at, but 9 times out of 10, they ain't gonna do nothing, man, but constantly victimize Black folks and keep Black peoples in their penitentiaries.
That's what I agree with. I agree with you wholeheartedly. It comes down to, it's funny you said it comes down to the fact that on the books, even on the law books and the books themselves, we're not considered citizens. So, the fact that we're not considered citizens, they pretty much kind of do what they want to do with us on so many levels until we actually change that aspect in the books to where we even consider citizens. They really just killing non-citizens. So it's like killing a dog in the street. That's why they keep getting off and they're not being held accountable. And they can't kill their white counterparts or cohorts like that because they are considered citizens of this United States. And it's states that's united, not in the sense that we've been taught. These are just states of mind that's united for the one cause of keeping, those of color down on so many levels.
Right. Well, to make you equal to them is something that they created. They created a scenario to say, okay, you equal. That means you got to have the money. You got to have the education. You got to have the property. You got to be a soldier. You got to be a police officer. You got to be a politician. They got criterions where they can make you equal. Mainly, you got to sell out. If you come in there talking about you for black people, you gonna kneel like a cabinet, or you gonna look for liberation, or you gonna speak up for these people, then they gonna marginalize you and try to ostracize you and try to ruin your career. You know what I'm saying? And they gonna do everything they can to make you, non-employed.
That's right. That's right.
So the whole thing is, if you are Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, if you him, then your support don't come from none of them. It got to come strictly from your people, strictly from within your group. And then they gonna continuously try to keep him, out of the limelight, out of the spotlight, and try to make him feel, like he ain't the man that he's supposed to be, when all the time he the best thing smoking.
Best thing smoking.
ain't nothing else. Because don't nobody, it's not a white man in America that love our black people like this man love our black people, but they'll sit up there and they'll try to tell us it is. You know what I'm saying? They'll rather live up there, man, and save animals, or have more compassion for what's happening to animals than what's happening to black people.
That's right.
You know,
they feel more kinship to their closest relative. That's why.
Yeah. Boy, they'll go out there and try to save the whales.
I'm trying to tell you.
In their own environment.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Well,
they'll go out there and save the whales. But they ain't gonna sit up here and try to save people that's being treated like endangered species right here on the soil, and these human beings. With the ability to speak to you and tell you what's happening to them. See, them animals, they can't say nothing.
They can't say nothing.
We don't know if that's really the case. Talking about all these sharks dying and all this here, they need help. Them animals don't have a voice. Don't have no way to articulate what's going on in their habitat. But here it is, they want us to accept their narrative that these animals need to be saved.
Boy, that's a great point, my brother. Great point.
Yeah. Hey, these white folks, man, they something else, man.
Hey, man, I got a whole nother concept for them that I'm not even going to express on this platform.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you know what? And I don't mean that it's all on, because some of them are great human beings. You know what I'm saying? It's just that they scared. They really scared of the police, and they can't speak up. They ain't only just scared of the police. They scared of anything that they can't control, anything that they don't know nothing about.
Right.
They're afraid. And white people are really afraid. And they're really afraid of the police because they know what the police is capable of doing. And the police would kill them. The FBI, the CIA, all of them would kill them. And they know it.
Yeah, we definitely we got a few man. They few, to me, they far and few. And when the heat on the burner turn up a little bit, they kind of, they show you what's really happening. So I can't really be concerned about them on that level, But yeah, more power to them. To be honest with you.
Yeah,
I'm concerned about us and and getting rid of some of these, some of these house niggas that's a part of our, our people as well. Those that have a European mindset and don't have a black cohesive mindset. We don't really need that.
Yeah. Well, man, we gonna have to always be suspicious of them type of peoples anyway, because they come and go.
They come and go. Exactly. They come and go. And so many of them are agents, man. Agents been a part of they've been infiltrating organizations for years. And with this new internet technology we have in this land we in now, you don't know who is who, man. The footprint of agency is everywhere. You just don't even know who's who no more, man. So it's crazy.
And when people is motivated by money,
that's the key.
Well,
that's
money,
the key. Because you
said got
so
much power.
And you were saying something earlier. You were saying about us being equal. You was talking and my mind was turning, and I was interested because they only can judge or measure their equal or their equality to us based on materialism or things outside of spirit and soul. Because on that level, I'm one of them people that subscribe to the fact there's no equal. They're not equal. So they have to make themselves superior in monetary value and land wealth and all these other things, and try to be superior because they know innately within themselves who, to me, I would say is the superior being when it comes to the existence on this plane. I truly believe that. I truly feel that way. That's not to say no one is better than another, but there's a superior. That's like me. I breed dogs. The type of dogs I breed, I know are more superior than another type of dog. That doesn't mean that other type of dog is less caliber. It's just not of the superior makeup of the type of dog that I might be dealing with, and we have to deal with that fact. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is.
Right. Well, when you dealing with white folks, you always gonna deal with a materialistic creature, because that's what they focus point.
That's their focus point. That's their focus point.
And they use materialism to control the masses.
They use it to wield their power. That's their wand of power, the materialism and the policy making. Because these people, I mean, it's really ingenious when you think about it. Like, here's a people that relatively the youngest species of humanoid on the planet, but yet they actually control pretty much the whole rhythm of the planet as it relates to monetary value, monetary wealth, land wealth, and the whole nine. It's incredible to me. It's kind of ingenious on so many levels. Right. The deception of these people is incredible.
Well, it's all about controlling the resources. That's what they're doing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And then with the resources, this is the reason why you have so much hunger and poverty and famine, the lack of water. They do all that, and they do that so they can control who live and who die without firing one shot. And if you dead if you ain't got no water, you dead you ain't got no food. You know what I'm saying? This stuff should be God given, but it's not. It's used as a commodity. Everything is used as a commodity. This is the materialism or that controls the way people exist. So all the things that we make believe being a necessity, they hold it as a punishment. So man, the only way we're gonna get to you gonna live there and pledge your allegiance to this flag, and we'll give you food stamps. And that's how they treat it.
Your reception sound really, really staticky. Hey, say something knowledge to me. Hear yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all sound really, really staticky. I can barely hear you.
Yeah, I'm hearing it. You still here, Red?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
I think Red froze. I wanted to see that video. I wonder if you're trying to get that video. I wanted to see that video before we wrapped it up. If not, then I guess I
Okay.
have to catch it at a time. So, you got any closing remarks from on your side, no, before we wrap?
Well, only thing I got to say, man, is that for all our people, I'm just hoping we stay conscious and do what we got to do, man, in order to, bring about justice, man, for some of the peoples, man, that really can't can't understand what's really going on in their own world, because of whatever lack of understanding they having, but we just got to be vigilant and just keep on pushing our narrative instead of just accepting the narrative that they feeding us through the media and through all the police talking heads about what's going on with our people and all this old different stuff, man, even especially when it comes to the politics, because we already know what's happening. The politics control the land, so they spread the policies.
Okay. I was waiting to see if Red gonna get back on, but I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. So we're just gonna wrap. And I thank you for your time. I thank him for his time. I thank New Order for supplying us with some New Order warriors every week. And you find yourself a victim of human rights violation, you can go to the website www.nonhro.org. That's www.nonhro.org. Or you can call this toll free number 24/7 366 1-800-346-5138. Again, that's 1-800-346-5138. So definitely thank you. No, don't be a
All right.
stranger. You know you're always welcome over here.
All right, peace.
All right.